What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the newest edition of the Collector's Hideout podcast, where we kind of just get together and talk shit about random ass things to get away from the daily bustle of life and all the bullshit that goes on. Tonight, I am joined by Shellhead Tony. How's it going, brother? How you doing?
Doing good. Thursday night.
That it is. Mr. Psycho, what's going on, man? Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Things are going well. How about you?
It's going. Work sucked, but I'm here. That's usually the way it goes. But I'm off tomorrow, so I'm good. And we're also joined tonight by some Cuban guy. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
It's so weird when you say that.
Glad
Yeah.
to be here.
I told you can't just be letting random people into the podcast like this. We don't even have a name for this guy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
just some
okay.
Cuban guy. Yeah.
It's not racist.
He
It's fine.
he kind of just picked me off the street and said, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast?" I was like, "Sure."
Yeah, I was down in Miami. I was like, hey, look at this, some Cuban guy.
Well,
Come
well,
over here.
well,
Hop
well,
on.
first, so at first I was like, "Gay," and then he was like, "Do you speak English?" And I was like, "Yes, I do."
Hold on. Do you actually speak Spanish?
Yeah, of course.
You
What?
sure?
Yes.
I
Well,
love how he said it so matter of factly too. He's like, "Yeah, of course."
Well, see,
we've
see,
never
hold
heard
on.
me speak Spanish.
We're going off
before.
topic. No, yeah, because Jose and I used to work at a theme park together,
Oh,
and whenever a Spanish customer would come up, he would not. He'd go, I don't know, I'm no Espanol. Like he would, and then he'd make them talk English, and I was like, bro, do you like speak Spanish? He's like, no, I really don't. I'm like, so you're like a fake Cuban. He's like, yeah, like I don't know. He's like, my grandparents
Cuban?
speak. I can do a little bit with them, but I don't know enough to really talk to people. I'm like, cool,
Yeah.
man. I've known this man since high school, and it's like, cool. I've accepted that as like canon.
well, I
But
mean,
no.
back then, I mean, there's a backstory to that, but I mean, back then, like, that's true. Like back then, I didn't really like, speak a whole lot, but I was for like my grandparents and stuff like that. I started seeing them a lot more, so obviously that they only speak Spanish, so I was kind of like forced to learn. So now I'm like I can speak it fluently, no problem. But yeah, back then that was actually kind of true. But for the most part, it was actually just
No, I
laziness.
feel like you've been a master
No,
of the
no,
language the entire
no,
time.
for
You've been
no, no,
learning
no.
this
Like I
English.
actually, I could definitely like understand it and speak it a little, for sure. Probably more than I let on. I was just too lazy to actually like do anything. I didn't want to be known as like the resident translator. So, yeah.
The
Alrighty
your story
then.
checks out the lazy part. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Uh, so tonight, I just want to do a little clean house, a little house cleaning, housekeeping, whatever. Um, on a TikTok post I made that's apparently pissed a lot of people off, and I just kind of double down on the fact that I'm right. Well, my opinion is my opinion, but I feel like it's right. Um, my and the chat can go off if they agree or not, but I personally feel that when you look at the horror movies and the villains and the killers, especially the slashers, in comparison, Chucky is essentially the bitch of the group, right? Like people in the comments like, "Oh, he's got human strength," and I'm like, "He doesn't have human weight. You can still throw his ass out a fucking window with one arm." Like, I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck that he's strong.
Yeah.
He's a bitch. I love Chucky, one of my favorites, but in retrospect, he ain't shit. Do you guys agree? Like, Chucky's a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, his movies have always been a joke, but it's like everybody's in on the joke.
Yeah.
So
But somebody did mention, and I looked at it to make sure they were right. He's got the most kills out of like all the other guys put together.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, no, when you look at it in the numbers wise, he's got the most kills. Because also remember, he's got a TV show now. He's got a TV series. Like, he's
Well, like,
Okay, so
what do
that
we-
doesn't count though, because if you go movie for movie, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I
But if
think
you
they were
start
talking about
adding
like
in,
for franchise, right? You're
but
talking
it's,
about like
it's Chucky, right? Well, I'm not counting the AI version, right? Because that was fucking stupid. Not a bad movie, bad Chucky movie. It's the franchise as Chucky the Killer because they've really tied the show into the movies. Like it's not like the MCU where you have Marvel movies and then the Marvel TV shows are kind of different. Like the Chucky is the same Chucky, but they've given him the ability now in the TV show to like separate his soul into multiple dolls and people. And I'm like, that's just like they needed to make him a threat, so they added something to make him more dangerous. But Chucky by himself is a bitch.
Yeah, no, not intimidating at all.
I don't know.
But like, if you know he's coming, like you said, if you knew he was coming, if you didn't know he was a living doll, and you just sat down next to him, you're probably gonna get killed. But if you knew that this doll is on a rampage, he's nothing. And the thing that I kept trying to explain to people, I'm like, if you look at it, and you're like, say you go down an alleyway, and it's like a crossroads alleyway, so you have the 4 intersections, right, or the 4 roads intersecting. And at each end, you have one with like Victor Crowley, one with Jason Voorhees, one with Leatherface, and then you have Chucky. And you have to get past one of them to survive. Which one are you going after? It's Chucky, every time.
Agreed.
And now people in the chat are saying Puppet Master is better.
Like
Well, if
the
you're gonna go
Puppet
that
Master
route-
franchise? What?
No, just better killers. Like,
Oh well, like which
they're
one
more-
though? Like all of them together, or like Blade? Like which one do you mean?
well, no, you put the Puppet Master. It's not the old man. It's got to be the puppets, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
the
yeah,
old
because
man's
they're all alive.
So you have a team there. Like if you got Chucky when he's like in 40 different Chucky dolls, now he's a threat, right? Like one drop of water isn't a threat to my life, but if I
Hmm.
jumped into a pool with weights on my feet, I might die because there's an abundance of droplets of water. Like
This
droplet.
went
with
really
like-
sideways.
It did.
Yeah.
I like Joe's comment the best.
I'm trying to find him. This was this one.
Yeah.
I bet Chucky was
Oh yeah, that was
in
that
Ready
was,
Player One.
that was
Yeah.
actually the most terrifying. Yeah, because he killed like 30 people or something like immediately. It was great.
But wasn't there like 3 of them though? Like there was a few of them that like all came jumping out together.
No, it was just one.
No, it was just the one.
It was just the
It was
one.
just one. I could have sworn there was like one, and like in the background there was another one jumping. with
Only movie I could think of where the main character is driving a DeLorean while holding a rocket launcher from Halo and throwing Chucky out the window. Like that's actually what happened.
I don't think I ever saw the movie, or I don't
You
remember
what?
it.
You haven't seen Ready Player One?
Either that or I don't remember it. Is it the one with what's his name with fucking oh my god, Deadpool?
No.
No, you're thinking of I know
Free
what you're
Guy.
thinking of. Yeah,
You're
Free
thinking
Guy.
of Free
Guy,
Yeah,
Free
yeah.
Guy.
Ready Player One is a future is like a futuresque movie, but everybody exists in like this virtual reality world because they plug themselves in every day, and then in the virtual reality world, it's such a giant game, and you're trying to accumulate stuff and money and find things. It's cool. You should watch
But
it.
Tony,
Yeah.
but you've seen obviously South Park.
Yeah.
You know the episode Imagination Land where like all the bad guys attack Imagination Land? It's that. So like Freddy's in Ready Player One because it's people in a computer game, so they have all their own skins and it's all these like there's Ninja Turtles in it. Like
Yeah.
there's just everything pop culture.
Like
Is
Mortal
it Ready
Kombat
Player
characters,
One?
Street Fighter characters, like all video game characters.
I'll have to check it out. It sounds cool.
Yeah,
It is
Yep.
interesting.
it's
You got
based
the
off of
DeLorean, the Ecto
yeah.
One.
King Kong, the
yeah.
T-Rex from Jurassic Park. Like
Yeah, it's
it's
awesome.
crazy. Yeah, but it's
Really?
based off of a novel by Ernest Cline. But yeah, it's a
The
good
movie
I
wasn't
really like it.
bad, but that scene, like the big all-out battle, that scene is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's great, especially with my favorite scene from that movie definitely is the Mechagodzilla versus like the Iron Giant fight,
Yeah,
and then like Voltron comes. Like it's crazy. It just gets insane. Yeah,
they really
I'm
should have had
surprised
the
you haven't
Megazord
seen
there.
this, Tony.
yeah. That's a
I
great.
feel like now I have to
it's a
see it
great
because you're
film.
describing everything I love to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. It really is.
So tonight's topic, since the housekeeping's done, tonight's topic is the weird out there fan theories for some of our favorite movies that when you first hear them like what the fuck, like no, but then when you actually think about it, like hold on, they might be onto something. Like there might this is an interesting thought. And the example I used, and Tony keeps bringing it, what are we talking about? Was the idea like The Breakfast Club all takes place in the girl Amy's head, the outcast Amy. If you don't know character names, but she's like the one that's like quiet by herself. She's not the popular one. She, you know,
It's played by Ali Sheedy.
yeah. So it all takes place in her head. That's why every other character is like your stereotype of those types of characters. The jock, the popular girl, the nerd, and the bad boy. It's that's why they're like such stereotypes. And also why they're able to like fall through the ceiling, destroy stuff, smoke weed everywhere and not get busted. And she never smokes the weed, like all this shit that happens. And then at the end of the movie, she gets the bad boy, or she gets
the jock. She gets
she
the
gets
jock.
the jock, right? Yeah, she gets Amelia Estevez. Like she winds up with the jock after she gets a makeover, and she's like all of a sudden not the outcast. Like it really, it's like holy crap, this is very makes a lot of sense. It's very possible. You know they'll never admit it if it was, but so stuff like that, just movies that have those, or in this case, possibly TV shows, because there's also a lot of TV shows that have those weird fan theories. So that's what we're going to go with, because I think it can cause a lot of good content and a lot of good conversation. And people in the chat are still going. There you go.
Yes.
Godzilla fights a Gundam. Why not?
Yeah, that's right. It was a Gundam. It wasn't Voltron. But yeah, it was
That is
cool.
two very different things.
That is true. Yes.
But still think
I always get those two mixed up. Yeah.
I thought it was a Ninja Turtle, but it was really a Gundam. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, Ninja Turtles are also in that movie. So
The thing is,
that's
it's
actually
Michelangelo, isn't it? Isn't it Mikey?
It's
think
all
so,
four.
yeah. It's all yeah, that's
all
right. All
four of
four.
them?
Yeah, in that scene, yeah, all four of them are running. Yeah.
So yeah. So who wants to go first?
I could go first. So because there's one specific theory that I feel like could be cool. So are we talking about like any movie like fan theories or?
Yeah, anything.
Okay. Well, so I really love like horror movie fan theories because I think there's always like a lot of cool connections.
Horror movies are dear to my heart. So
Yeah, one of my all-time favorites is, so the movie, obviously like Hellraiser is like probably one of the all-time, best like slasher movies with like really awesome, just a really awesome like background story with, Pinhead and everything. So, but the really cool fan theory that I really really like and I really truly believe is the connection between that movie and the movie Event Horizon. So if you've ever seen the movie Event Horizon, that's the movie it's like a horror movie that takes place in space.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys remember it.
It's a little bit older movie.
Yeah, it's a movie from the 90s. So it came out after the Hellraiser movies, like after Hellraiser 1 and 2. But it's basically the connection. So in that movie, right, it's like a rescue mission. They go to like rescue this ship that traveled somewhere. They don't know where it went. And then it's basically implied that the ship's warp drive somehow traveled to hell and then came back. So like all of the crew members were all like killed in like very very like vicious like ways and all this stuff. But there's like really really strong connections between it like the movie heavily implies that the hell that the ship went to is the same like hell, quote unquote like hell from the Hellraiser franchise.
If the Cenobites
Because-
are from, whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah, because so the character
Cenobites.
Dr. Weir, which is played by oh my god, Sam Neill from like Jurassic Park, Dr. Alan Grant. When he comes back, he's like shown like very like disfigured, almost like a Cenobite. Like his eyes are like cut shut and everything. Like he's got like lacerations all over his face, so he kind of looks like a Cenobite a little bit. But the really strange thing is, he says the exact same line, like a famous line that like Pinhead says, which he says like, "We have such sights to show you." So, which is like a really famous line that like Doug Bradley says in Hellraiser.
Right.
And there's just like a lot of really, really, really strong connections between like those two films. So I've always been like, yeah, that's like I feel like that's a really cool
That's
like
a really good
theory.
point.
Yeah. So It's one that like a lot of people don't really think about, but when you start thinking about it, you're like, damn, that actually makes a lot of sense. That like because the Dr. Weir's character constantly describes like him witnessing this entity, but it's never known like what the entity is. So a lot of the speculation is that the entity that he sees is actually the Leviathan, which is in from like Hellraiser 2. So it's like the big like the big like diamond thing
Right.
that's like in control of the Lament configuration realm. So that's like it's like implied. Plus there's like a lot of like really big connections to like geometry, right? So like in the Hellraiser franchise, obviously like the Lament configuration is a cube, right? In Event Horizon, the warp drive is like a sphere. So because it's like more futuristic, it's like kind of implied that the warp drive is like a creation, or he tried to like mimic the Lament configuration. So he somehow like came up with the design, and he's like, oh, I'm just going to use like what the Lament configuration did. And if you watch the scene where the warp drive like opens up, it opens up like very like geometrically like the Lament configuration. So I always
Now
thought that was a
go
really
back
cool
and watch
theory.
it. I'm gonna have to go
Yeah.
back with that thought and watch it. And that's what I'm saying. Like when you start thinking about that and you watch it again, then you start picking out those things too more. Like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
yeah, but it's really cool. Plus, like I said, like a lot of the kind of like body horror and stuff like that you see is like it's just really really reminiscent of Hellraiser. So if you go back and watch Event Horizon, like definitely like you're like, oh man, like you start seeing the connections between like the Hellraiser franchise and Event Horizon. So I always thought that was a really cool one.
Just I want to touch on real quick because Joe's going off in the chat, and it was one that I read earlier today that I've never been a big fan of the Blair Witch Project. Have you guys are any fans of Blair Witch?
Yeah, I watched it like
yeah.
twice when I was a kid, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so we all know the general idea, right? The guys going to the woods. Well, the people going to the woods with their
There's three
video
of them.
camera, whatever. They're looking for the witch, and shit happens. People die, yeah, whatever. But like, there's a fan theory that it's actually about time travel. So when they go into the woods, essentially the Blair Witch takes them back in time, which is why they're like the maps and everything, the roads that they're looking for aren't there because they're back in time. They're not made yet. And also it leads to the idea that that's why in the movie they say that they found their camera underneath the foundation of like 100-year-old structure. Like how the fuck would it be there if they hadn't gone back in time before the structure was built? So it's a different idea of what it is. They weren't actually killed by the witch. They were put back in time and they were killed back in whichever era it's supposed to take place. Which
That's
definitely is an interesting one. I had no idea.
So okay, so to Joe's point, he just said Blair Witch 2, I never saw that. Is
Yeah, I never saw the
openly
second one
about
either.
openly about time travel manipulation. So I guess, is it really that that's what the first movie is, or are they just associating because of the second one and that's an easy go-to?
You know, that's a good question. Because like I've seen a couple things, like different fan theories I was looking up. Because I was like trying to find like some really interesting ones for tonight. And there was ones like, oh, this is what happened, and the director confirms, right? But then when you read it, the director doesn't necessarily confirm. He's like, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, that's what it is. Like he's just agreeing with the fans. Like, yep, that's what you guys see it as. That's what we'll let it be. You know. So, because that was they were trying to say, the first one they mentioned was something John Malkovich or something.
Being
I
John
can't think of-
Malkovich, like the movie.
Yeah, the movie, right?
Yeah, being
The
John Malkovich.
idea that people keep going in and like they're controlling him, right? Well, the doctor who does that is the same woman from the movie Get Out with Jordan Peele, by Jordan Peele.
Oh,
Okay.
And she plays essentially the same character. I believe it's the same name and everything.
Like the mother character,
Yeah.
right?
you're
Yeah.
trying to say it's the
So
same
when she
universe?
marries her husband who's into neurology, and they together have perfected the stuff from John
Being
Malkovich.
John Malkovich. Ooh, that's an
So that-
interesting one.
they're actually the same. And Jordan Peele's like, as far as I'm concerned, this is what it is. Like, he didn't say that's what I wrote it as, but he's just accepting it because it's like too similar, whatever. But it's definitely interesting to go.
That's definitely a good one. I hadn't heard that one. That one's actually really makes a lot of sense.
So Nicole, that's not so much a theory as that's just the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. I saw one that said that Michael Myers is also the spirit of Halloween.
I haven't heard that one. I could see
Which
that,
is
but I haven't
why
heard that.
I forget which movie. I think it was the second one. Maybe it was the first. But at one point on a chalkboard, like he writes Sam Hain on a chalkboard in one of the schools, right? And then he only comes around and kills on Halloween, and then his soul was taken over, like whatever, and then that he's essentially become that he was a sacrifice for Sam Hain, and he's become the spirit of Halloween as well. That is kind of rough, but interesting, I guess. But Sam is definitely the guardian.
Yeah, I think the one of my favorite because there's a lot of Halloween fan theories for sure. So that's a good one. Like the other one is also like just Michael Myers is just the embodiment of evil. So and that's like a big.
Well, that's what
reason.
the Rob Zombie ones were basically,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah. But one night, like even the originals, like Dr. Loomis was like very adamant that he was just pure evil and like he was no longer human. He was just like evil incarnate and. To me, that's like that's why he's one of my favorite. He's probably my favorite slasher.
Oh,
because of that reason.
One that I saw was that Loomis is obviously his character is inspired by a character of the same name from Psycho. There's a Loomis in there who takes on Bates, right? That's who he's inspired by, but now the fan theory and what they've been showing is that he's actually the same doctor. So in Psycho, the happenings of that is what pushed him into psychology of murderers, and which is why he was placed and why he took on Michael, and he's the same character. So they're in the same timeline.
I haven't seen Psycho in so long, so I don't even remember who the Loomis character was. Was that like the detective or something like that in the front of the movie?
He's the doctor in Halloween.
Well, yeah, I know that.
In
in Psycho.
Oh! I thought he was the cop. I thought he was the investigator.
He may have been a cop.
Yeah, because there wasn't like if I remember if I remember the movie correctly, like there weren't that many characters in Psycho.
But they're also like you see
there's
the
the mom, the killer, and then there's the
woman he kills, right?
Yeah, like the woman he was like spying on or some shit.
Yeah,
and then
the detective, because the detective gets
because originally Loomis in Halloween was designed like as homage because he wears the same type of trench coat. Like when you see the two of them side by side, he's just older, right? But you can see that there's definitely a resemblance and paying homage to him. But the fan theory now is that it's actually the same character. That it's all in the same world. That's why he took on Michael, is because he got so interested from dealing with Bates, and then he learned and went into that field from there. That's it. But what else we got out here? Nicole's blowing up the chat, apparently.
Freddy being the representation of guilt and trauma. Yeah, that's a good one. So, I don't know. You guys want to talk about that one?
People are? I don't understand what she's saying.
That like Freddy Krueger he doesn't. I think maybe what it is he doesn't actually like exist, and he's really just like a manifestation of the guilt and trauma from the parents, and I don't know. I guess it's like passed down
so like
genetically. Kind of. Well, Pennywise was a real. He was just a real he was like an alien. So from like the
he's like a demon.
Story. Or like it's like he's like a demon alien or something like that.
Yeah, you blew my fucking mind. As soon as you said alien, I'm like, that's not it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a demon, and then, like Joe just said, is that there's a big theory that Mary Poppins and Pennywise are actually the same species.
Interesting.
That's fucking wild. I think that's just somebody looking for something to put in there.
Well, it's one of those things that people like. They get the idea and then they start digging and they start putting things together and they start connecting those dots. Like, that's crazy. What you're showing me makes sense.
Like some of the, okay, so some of this makes sense, right? They do coincide and you can attach it, but I also wonder sometimes if that's just what people want it to be. Like they can see that like, oh, these two, because everybody steals from everybody else, right? When they make movies, music, whatever. And so if it's something similar now other than what Kevin's talking about, which was the Event Horizon and Hellraiser,
right?
I could see that coinciding just because of the line. If they use that line in both movies, the same character is essentially speaking it. Representation of the same character is essentially speaking it. Those two for me would intertwine, but everything else, because they all derive from other things and pull from other places, it's very easy to say, well, that's kind of like this, so that must be the same thing, it must be the same movie or it must be the same universe. So like I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Live and Die by It, one of my favorite horrors of all time. I love the characters and all that good stuff. And Leatherface is one of the only characters that doesn't die and come back, right? They just tell the story over and over again in some different way. And the only fan theory there is about that I'm aware of, at least, is that
he's really a woman.
No, it's
a fan theory apparently.
I've never heard that one, but it's that the reason you see different Leatherfaces and the timelines keep going, right? So you have the first Leatherface, and I know people die and different people play him, but the reason you see so many different Leatherfaces is because do you remember in the first remake where they capture the baby, or the lady's got the baby in the trailer and they stole the baby? You don't remember that? Jessica Biel's like, you stole that baby.
Yeah.
Well, the theory is that they steal children and they groom those children to be the next Leatherface when the one dies off. So okay. Leatherface, you got to figure he's not 500 years old, right? The first Leatherface, he dies off. Somebody else has got to start doing the chainsaw.
So that's almost like the same idea that James Bond, like all the movies of James Bond haven't been remakes; they've just been James Bond, because every time James Bond dies, the one who takes his place is now James Bond.
That's actually a really good theory. The theory that that's the theory that 007 is actually a code name and not really like a character. So that explains why there's been so many 007s throughout the years.
And why he's so freely telling everybody his name when he's supposed to be undercover. I'm James Bond.
Yeah.
James,
so
it's not his real fucking name.
He's like, are you though? You don't look like the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always found that was a really interesting theory, and I kind of believe that one. If you're, because there's never, because the thing that also contributes to that theory is that it's never ever explained why all of these James Bonds are different. It's just kind of believed to be, you either have to accept them as their own individual stories, or they only exist within that one actor's universe. But there's also all these other connections, there's always an M character, so it's there's always all these connections and all these strong coincidences that happen, but it's never ever explained why there's all these different James Bonds essentially. So I always really like that theory, and I believe that theory. I think that was true.
There's a theory that I know of that ties into what you guys are talking about, but it's not the same thing. It's this idea that the movie The Rock, the Michael Bay movie with Sean Connery and Nick Cage, is actually a sequel to the Sean Connery James Bond films. That John Mason is the name of the guy that Sean Connery plays in The Rock, and that he was the original James Bond. He is this super spy. He can do all these things, but that he was eventually caught and imprisoned in America because of stealing the microfiche, and then
I'm sorry. Anytime anybody ever says that, I lose my shit.
Who's Bond after Connery?
I'm sorry?
Who's Bond after Sean Connery?
Oh God.
Was it Brosnan?
No.
It wasn't Lazenby. It was the other guy.
Oh, sorry. No, Connery was
Connery was the first one, and then there was one after him, and then he came back for one, and then
I forget that Connery's old. Like yeah, he's in the '90s. Like, he was one of the '90s ones. Like, no, he was old then.
But it kind of fits. I mean, I really enjoyed the movie The Rock, and so when I first heard that,
Like the wrestler.
I was thinking about it, and it makes a lot of sense. So it was George Lazenby.
It was George. Yeah, because
after Connery.
it was Roger Moore afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But no, it was this idea that the James Bond that we all saw Sean Connery be, who was incredibly badass. Then you get this guy John Mason. He's been in jail for, almost 30 years, and they get him out, and he knows everything, and he's like super lethal, and he's just like really intelligent. And it kind of fits. It would give credence to the idea that every new person just inherits the moniker of James Bond, because that's what it needs to be. Like, that's the code name.
So James Bond's more of an entity than an actual just person.
Yeah.
So James Bond is like the designation. When you are the top spy in M16, you are going to be Bond. 007 James Bond. Like, that's your code name.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like that theory because I enjoy the Sean Connery James Bond movies. I enjoyed The Rock, so thought that was good.
Is that true?
He's given powers through fear.
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge It fan, so never fucking knew that. Never knew that was his whole gimmick.
Yeah, which is why the idea of like Mary Poppins, because she feeds off the happiness and taking care of them and shit. So it's like they're the same species.
So what? Okay, so help me out with that. So because like Gianna's like a huge fan, right? Huge Pennywise fan. So I guess if he's from outer space, how the hell does that connect with him being on Earth with kids?
Well, so he's not necessarily from outer space. Remember, he's interdimensional. So he's like from a different dimension. And there's actually, I don't know who Gianna is, but I assume it's one of your kids.
Daughter.
Okay, so there's actually Stephen King has actually written in great detail about the background of the character of Pennywise and where he came from and why he does what he does and who his enemies are. And so if she's super into it, she can find that stuff because Stephen King actually, wrote and released that stuff because it's part of it. There's this thing where a lot of his stories connect, and they all the terrible things come from this dimension that Pennywise is from. And so like he's actually connected all of his stuff. It's super cool. She can look it up. It's actually very cool.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. So definitely not an alien. He's not from space. He's from a different dimension. Like Krang. Krang isn't an alien. He's from dimension.
It's like
Wait. Did you say Krang is not an alien?
Yeah, he's from Dimension X.
Well, that would make him alien to where he's going to.
But he's not
a resident. He's an illegal alien of Earth.
So deport his ass. All right?
It's like in Indiana Jones 4, right? In Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, people are like, oh, look, it's aliens. But they say multiple times in that film, right, that they're interdimensional beings. They are not aliens. They're from some other dimension, right? That's kind of the thing with Pennywise as well.
Why did we have to bring up that travesty of a movie? Jesus Christ.
There's nothing wrong with Indiana Jones 4, and people that don't like it just are being obnoxious.
I saw South Park, and they raped Indy. Okay.
I didn't even know. Hold on. I didn't even know that there was an Indiana Jones movie that came out last year or the year before.
The Dial of Destiny. I haven't seen it. I heard such terrible things about it.
He's got a walker and shit. He's like.
It was on like ABC the other night, and it started. And I'm like, well, this is like a Disney movie. It's like Disney. I'm like, oh, this is a Disney movie. But then, like, the first thing you see is a swastika. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
That's every Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
There's a swastika in every movie for no reason.
I'm like, this has to be Indiana Jones. And then it starts. I'm like, this does not look familiar. And then, like, the title came up. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen this. I looked it up. Like, oh, 2023 or 2024. I'm like, it must have been bad because I've heard nothing about that movie.
I mean, I don't know if anybody else has a theory, but I actually have two that I like, but one that I wasn't gonna bring up because Jose said he wanted to bring it up. But so I'll bring up the other one and we could circle back if necessary. But I like the theory that the Terminator movies are prequels to the Matrix movies.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so if you think about it, right, in the Matrix, nobody knows how long it's been like that. And human beings only exist in these pods, and when they die in the pods, they're kind of flushed out and they're replaced with a new human being. And um the machines in the Matrix movies need the electrical energy that people generate allegedly, but also because their creation originally was to protect people, they were supposed to keep the human race alive, right? And so this way they're keeping the human race alive, but also making sure that it's benefiting them as machines. And in Terminator, you hear a lot of that, right? It's this idea that Skynet was created to keep humanity safe. And obviously it's only the first 3 Terminator movies, not the ones that came after that. So we're looking at Terminator, Terminator 2, and then most of Terminator 3, because Terminator 3 actually shows Judgment Day, that you can't avoid it, it's going to happen. And so you have this band of people who are constantly fighting, but what happens to that in the future? And people have theorized that the answer to that is the Matrix, right? You have some of these people, they eventually are able to build, ships to fight back, but then the majority of people are still captured. And what's his face? Kyle says in the first movie that the machines at first were using people to build other machines, but after that, they started just locking them up and keeping them, in like storage and putting them away. And so it's kind of like, if you think about it, the two things could fit. Right, you have a world taken over by machines. So,
I don't disagree, but I guess my other thought would be, okay, I go back to my original statement of so many movies steal from other movies, right? And so is it just written so coincidental that
like,
you know what I mean?
Get inspiration from them.
Yeah, so case in point, have you guys ever seen the movie 9?
Yeah.
Love it. Watched the movie about 1,000 times. Damien loves it. It's a great movie. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Chris does.
Is that the movie with it's like clay animation sort of deal?
It's not claymation. It's
3D, but it's like little toy stuffed animals.
Yeah. Like one's like a character in like a sack or something.
Yeah, they're all like some kind of
like doll stuff. Yeah,
they're all created. Yeah. So it's kind of weird because it's set back in a time where it was supposed to be like the 40s, and there was like war and like almost like during the time like World War II, World War I kind of thing. And a scientist creates these small entities because they were supposed to be able to go into places that humans couldn't. And they, gives them all life or whatever. Well, what happens is there's a machine, and it's like Terminator all over again. So they build a machine. The machine eventually, obviously, becomes sentient, takes over, no longer needs humanity, and so it keeps creating all these other machines to, better the world, right? But these little creatures are still running around, trying to, avoid the machines that have taken over because they don't want anything living on the planet. They just want it to be the machines, and it's like Fallout. So it's kind of crazy that that's in the 40s, but it's the same idea as, call it Terminator. They created this machine, the machine takes over, humanity's gone, and I guess there you go. So I kind of
you can see movies do that where it's like, oh, I saw this.
Post-apocalyptic.
Black Panther is just Lion King, right? Like,
I mean,
similar story to Lion King.
Human nature is it's human nature to make connections, right? To find how things fit together, to find where things are similar.
It's the best
way. And I think like subconsciously, any creation that comes after huge like moments in pop culture, right? So like Jaws or like Terminator, there are certain movies that are cultural touchstone points, right? And so like those are always going to feature in anybody's creation because you're like, oh well, this came before. Like either I agree with it, I don't agree with it. I can build off of it. And I think kind of what makes the theory so interesting to me between Terminator being prequels is in Terminator specifically, like a lot of these films where machines take over, they're not looking to keep people alive. Like Tony just said, they don't want anything living. But in Terminator specifically, Like the goal of Skynet is to protect and prolong the human race, but it feels the only way to do that is to control it. They don't want to kill everybody. They're not trying to kill all the people. They're trying to kill the people who won't go into these detention centers, who won't
Which
be
is such a weird fucking
locked
theory
up.
for the movie.
Yeah. So it's like, and in the Matrix, it's the same thing. You have these machines who are absolutely still in charge. And with their technological advancement, they don't need the electrical impulses that people create to power them. Like, that's a stupid thing. It never really makes, in my opinion, it never makes sense in the movie that, yes, here are these things capable of building machines that fly and laser guns, but they can't figure out how to make a fucking battery, right? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. They don't need people's electrical energy. So then why else would they specifically keep humanity alive? And it's kind of like, well, in Terminator, the machines refuse to kill everybody. They could have, but they want to capture everybody and store them.
Cool.
And that's essentially what's going on in the Matrix.
So, in Matrix, they're using the people to take their energy for power.
Yes, that's one of the things that's said about them, that when they're in that gel stuff,
Right.
their electrical impulses are powering everything.
So, it's Monsters Inc.
Oh, god damn it.
Right. like the screams and the laughter builds their power, and it powers their fucking world. I'm just saying, it's Monsters Inc.
There's a fan theory for that, and I gotta look it up. But it's something, I think Boo is dead. I gotta look it up.
That got dark real quick.
Yeah, oh yeah, that she's like actually like an angel or something.
But I saw another one.
Right? I'm not right. I'm not wrong, right? That was a theory, I think.
Yeah. What would you say, Chris?
I've heard another one where you see Boo older in another Pixar movie.
Oh, they're
yeah.
all over. So Disney and Pixar bleed into each other.
Well, yeah.
And you'll watch
the
them.
time.
That's
Yeah,
a
you watch
whole
Easter eggs.
that's
It's
a whole
Easter egg thing.
theory. Yeah, that's a whole theory in and of itself, that all of Pixar is in one universe. So it's all
Like
it's kind of like an MCU. So it's like all of the Pixar movies are all connected, and that the Easter eggs aren't coincidence, that they're purposeful.
But if I remember
So-
correctly, what it comes down to is that Cars is the furthest in the future. If I remember correctly, because all humans are gone, humans are dead.
So the cars are Terminators.
Essentially,
much.
yeah.
They
But-
killed all of humanity, and that's
But-
just them left, the machines.
What that I saw was that when you look at what the movie Cars and the characters, Mater is a serial killer.
What?
All right, you're gonna have to explain that one to me
Yeah,
because
please.
I do have the
You
fan
lost
theory
me.
for Monsters Inc. So go ahead.
Well, so because he takes cars to the junkyard where he then cuts them apart and sells their body parts to keep other cars alive.
But they never show that.
But he's a fucking tow truck. He has a junkyard. Just the knowledge of what it is.
I think that's like more just reading into the character, or what the character should be. But so here's the fan theory for Monsters Inc., which is actually pretty fucking cool. So the witch in Disney Pixar's Brave, which if you guys never seen Brave, it's hilarious.
Yep.
Well, I know you've seen it, Chris, but
Support genders, man.
so Disney Pixar's Brave is an older time traveling Boo. She dedicated her life to mastering the door technology to find Sully after leaving the monster world.
Because if I remember correctly, in Brave, she has something that has like the same skin pattern as Sully.
Yep.
Or something, or maybe it's the stuff.
fur.
Like,
It's the fur.
Something. Is it the fur? There was
Mhm.
something that from the movies besides it just being like that really attached to him. I think they did the stuffed animal actually. Boo's stuffed animal was seen in it. Her little bear that she carries. I think that was. But Disney and Pixar, they love doing that shit. Like when you see Scar as a rug in a
Hercules.
Hercules.
Yeah.
So
Fucked up.
So Joe's talking about Wall-E, which is a great movie. Again, great movie. You guys remember that? Like the
Yeah.
Wally's
That's one of my favorite Pixar movies for sure.
It's
there's
Ed's favorite Pixar
and
movie.
scary
I forgot
part
about
is-
Wall-E.
the scary part is 90% of what happens in that movie, like
Well, no.
fat, everybody's on their computers all the time, like all that shit. It's just like, oh my god, it's so true.
Yeah,
But,
so they can't be the furthest in the future in theory because there's still people in Wall-E.
Well, so
Well-
the fan theory is that the Wall-E robots were purposely not moving fast enough in order to make humanity go away, almost like Terminator syndrome. But I know Terminators want to preserve everything, but they were like, hey, we're not going to do things as quickly as we need to. We're just going to let things pile up, and then they'll leave, and then we've got the planet.
But I think I read the theory a long time ago. The connection was that because the people in Wall-E, they're like on scooters and shit, right? Like they're all
Like chairs,
used to,
hover
like-
chairs. Yeah, hover
Yeah,
chairs.
which then leads to cars because they just eventually turn into fucking cars, and why all the cars have faces and eyes and shit because they're really people who have evolved into that. If I remember correctly, that's where it all starts to connect.
I have not done enough drugs, nor do I do enough drugs to get that theory.
I mean, look at the fat ass on the fucking scooter with his headlights. I don't know what else to tell you. Have you been to Walmart? Some of those people on scooters look like they could be a fucking Buick.
They might have been in Wall-E, but who knows?
There's another theory that has nothing to do with movies or TV shows I talked to Chris about, but it's a video game theory. For anybody that likes The Legend of Zelda, one of the really famous video game theories is that Link is dead throughout the entirety of Majora's Mask. Like in that game, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Link is dead. He dies at the very beginning, and then his trip is just his purgatory, right? Like it's where his soul goes before it moves on, and he has to relive all the things that he's done, all the struggles and everything, which is why there's so many things that are similar. Like there's so many characters that were in Ocarina of Time that appear in this game but are completely different and not the same.
I've never played it, so I couldn't.
And it's like
attempt to
super.
agree.
It's super dark and I don't know. It's an interesting theory. I don't know that I believe it, but a lot of people do, and they make some really good points, especially because the first person you talk to in the beginning of the game, like so Link is going through the forest on his horse, and he's chasing after Skull Kid, and then he falls in a hole, and he's like falling a long time, and then he lands gently in this other world, and the first person he comes across shortly after that is the Happy Mask salesman who says, "Ma, you've met with a terrible fate." And so that keeps being repeated throughout, and so the idea is he fell into the hole, but when he hit the ground he died, and everything else is his like journey to acceptance of the fact that he died and into the
That
afterlife.
makes sense.
So,
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So,
So
yeah,
I'm
I've
into
never
video
played the
games.
game, so I can't even like begin to even attempt to agree or say things that piss you off and then disagree with you on purpose. So I've just never.
well, it's
played
not like it's Mega Man 6. So popular
There's
theory.
a theory that game was bad and the second one was better. Like that's a weird theory.
I mean that's a true theory. It's crazy.
Oh.
So
So popular like fan theory, right? It's out there. Everybody knows. Very easy one we could probably discuss is the whole Batman thing and how Batman is really psychotic in his own mind, and that everything he sees and imagines with all these other characters is just his psychosis.
that he's in like actually a psych ward, right? He's
Right.
in Arkham.
That Arkham is where he is, and it's not everything else is just made up. Like maybe his parents really did get murdered, but he went psycho,
From
and so right, he went crazy at that point, ended up in an asylum, and in his brain he's like, I'll avenge them, I can do that. But it's not real. Nothing happens.
Which is why he first sees like just because everybody you see him, all his villains are obviously already done, right? But the only villain that you see like a background for was Harley Quinn being Dr. Harleen Quinzel, and then she becomes Harley Quinn. So it's like that's the first Doctor that you actually see that he saw normal until shit started happening. Then he twisted her to be a villain as well, because she saw her with Joker, who I believe is like the guy who runs Arkham in the theory. Like he's the main person that.
Is this just like an overall like Batman theory, or?
Yeah, and so like in the theory, Joker is allegedly Bruce's
Fulton the Warden.
well, he's not just a warden, but he's Bruce's like main doctor. And so like he's always trying to get Bruce to look on the bright side and like trying to not be so brooding and not, be so affected by his parents' death and like constantly trying to make him smile and laugh, and it never works, right? And like Scarecrow is the guy who medicates Batman. And like so it's like all these different things.
So
And a
where
lot
did,
of his-
just a quick question, because I really haven't heard this theory. But is it I haven't. Yeah, I haven't heard this theory at all.
Oh,
What so where do all the other superheroes fit in? Like
No,
how
not heroes. It's him and
this is just his mentality.
it's
So everything
confined
else,
to Batman.
right?
Right.
Everything else just taken away. It's just the DC universe, right? The way
Okay.
he's represented. But his character specifically, where he comes from, and his story is a manipulation of his brain.
okay.
I mean, in theory, you could. It would be in the realm of the other superheroes would essentially be other patients. In this theory,
If you went
Okay.
that deep into it, but they're doing
Right.
like upper crust. This is where
But
he comes from.
when you look at it, a lot of Batman's villains, I can't say a lot, but some of his villains that I can think of are like intellectual. They're usually on the smarter side, some type of doctor, some type of this that the experiments, Mr. Freeze or Man Bat who tested on himself type of thing. Like there is, he's got a lot of like doctor-ish villains that
Well,
just go crazy and become villains.
He literally has an evil psychiatrist as a villain. Like Dr. Hugo Strange is an actual like villain.
Yeah,
And
actually,
so-
Psycho, you
Jonathan
look like
Crane.
Hugo Strange.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like he's just like a psych doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've read I read that theory and it gets really deep. Like when you read the actual theory, like they touch a lot of the bases. Like obviously this is a Cliff Notes version of it, but
Mm. I wonder why they
pull
never
a
did that
lot,
as a
and it's like,
comic.
holy crap, this is insane.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes 100% sense.
I've definitely heard the theory. I don't personally believe it. I think that there's a lot going on there that can't be answered by the theory, right? Like, so the Joker thing makes sense. Harley Quinn makes sense. The Scarecrow, like Jonathan Crane, makes sense. But then there are other characters like, who the hell would Mr. Freeze be, right? Like nobody freezes the patients. That's not a thing.
Or like
Well, no,
play,
but
or like
there is a
Clayface.
Prino. There is treatment with
I was gonna say maybe there's different levels of treatment that he's
I mean,
associated.
I can go. There's treatment. I can go to. I mean, obviously, this one isn't what they'd be doing to Batman, right? But there is like treatment. You can go to a place and get frozen to help with weight loss. Like there is freezing treatments for different things.
Yeah, but not for psychosis, right? Like, not that you're going to get in an asylum. The same thing was, where the hell does Man-Bat fit in? Like,
I feel
Watch
like you're
the
taking the
Clayface.
idea. It's a comic book. You're taking it a little too real.
well, no. Like, I get what you're saying, but like, I understand why people are saying the theory. It's just, for me, like, if you only look at his main rogues gallery, it makes more sense. But as you expand past that, like, why the hell does Penguin look like a penguin? Who's running a nightclub? Like, what doctor's
Because he's
running a
fucking
nightclub in the
crazy and he
asylum-
sees
in
him
the
as a
asylum?
penguin.
You know what, no. But what I'm saying is, like, what doctor is running a nightclub in the asylum, right?
Well,
Like,
so here's the thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a doctor. It could be.
Well,
a
he
patient.
manifests that idea in his head.
Yeah, but it could also be other patients who are just there. As well.
Maybe it's bingo night. I'm not being funny, but maybe
yeah,
it's
no,
bingo
I
night.
get it. I just,
And he's like, I gotta go to the club and defeat the Penguin, where he's just going to bingo night to play, bingo, and the guy who puts it on, he
Yeah.
calls the Penguin.
For me, it's like, because like I said, this is the first time I'm hearing the theory, but for me, it's like it when I look at comics, right? It's like you have to look at it like as a universe, like, so it's like like in DC, right? You have like multiple universes within it, so it's like that would be a good theory if it was just like a one-off. Maybe
Well-
like this universe, in this universe, like Batman, that is Batman.
I mean,
but
you can
like,
you can dig though, Jose, right? Because if you've seen movies, obviously we've all never been in an insane asylum, right? But we've
Yeah.
seen movies where they show, where it looks like in those types of facilities. And
Right.
There's always like one crazy
I-
guy running
I-
around like this.
I totally
as
get
he
that.
flies, and he
I
wants him
totally-
jumping out a fucking window.
I totally get that, but it's like
Like,
all these other heroes all have their own like backstories and shit. So it's like I don't know. It's just kind of it'd be kind of crazy for me. I would say that theory
Whoa.
is a good theory if it's like for example, if it's like Spawn, right? Where like Spawn is like the main hero in that universe. He's kind of like the only hero in that universe, and like all these other things are happening. But for like a shared universe where there's like multiple heroes and stuff like that, that's kind of hard for me to put my to like wrap my
So,
head around.
I get what you're saying, but it's a great theory.
I
Yeah.
will say
it's
that-
interesting. I'm not saying it's not interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Go ahead, Psycho.
No, I was just say another Batman theory that I really like is the fact that in the Dark Knight trilogy, the Joker is actually ex-military.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
And that's why like he's suffering from PTSD. He got the scars from an IED, right? And huh?
Yeah.
So that's a hell of a scar right across the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like something blew up on his face, which is why he makes the makeup and like puts it on. But it's also like his detachment, his knowledge of weapons. Because how good is he with weapons?
And
Right?
explosives
And
and
it's how-
and tactical plans. Like like just to like add on top, like because we've talked about this theory before,
Yeah,
like in depth, and it's like it makes a ton of sense because like not only is he ex-military, but it's very likely that he is like an ex-special forces, specifically from like the Iraq War.
yeah,
So that he's like a
Which-
veteran from the Iraq War, and he's
So-
seen like these horrible
it-
atrocities, and that's what kind of made him snap, and that's why he's like this very like apathetic, emotionless, but like revels in like chaos. It also explains why during the interrogation scene he like turns everything on everybody, and he's like unfazed by like Batman.
but it's
So-
also his ability to deal with pain.
Yeah,
Right,
pain tolerance.
like-
yeah,
He doesn't even flinch when Batman like hits him, when smashes his face against the table, like. And special
Oh, no, I
forces
got a
are
headache.
trained to deal with that stuff.
yeah.
So
Okay, but you're referring to modern Joker.
we're referring to Heath Ledger, like
yeah.
the Dark Knight
Yeah,
trilogy.
Dark Knight Joker.
Well, I'm hearing Joker, and I'm like, he came out in like the 60s. No, there's no fucking way.
No,
Like,
no, we're,
Yeah,
we're,
no, we're
They said
specifically
Dark Knight.
yeah,
okay,
specifically the Dark
That's fine.
Knight.
Yeah, if you're talking
Yeah.
specifically the Dark
Which
Knight
is-
Rises or whatever it was, or Batman Begins, with all those
It was
movies.
dark. It was the Dark Knight that had the Joker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Which is
100%.
completely fair because you figure every iteration we've seen of the Joker has been a different style of Joker, right?
Sure.
Like, Nicholson was like the mobster Joker,
Yeah.
right? Then you had, detention desk Joker in the recent ones, all the tattoos on his face. But yeah, but every Joker is different, so I can
Yeah,
definitely see.
I agree with the Heath Ledger one. I agree with that story 100%. That makes sense.
It makes absolute sense.
If you're just talking about him,
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, because it's like they don't give you any background on the character.
And he changes it constantly throughout the film.
Yeah,
Which is
and then-
another.
Like when you see him fit in, when he disguises himself as one of the police officers in the
Oh,
parade.
the marksmanship.
He
Yeah.
knows,
Yeah.
he knows military procedure. He can walk the line perfectly. He follows
That all
along
makes
with
sense.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's like
I
it's
like it.
super interesting.
Yeah,
He's
and-
psycho for a different reason. The PTSD makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's psycho, and he wants like if he's very like pro-military, like pro, like America, like that kind of thing. It would make. I'm not denouncing America, so don't want to get canceled. But that would make sense why he would act a certain type of way and want to, kind of like keep pushing that envelope with the. God damn it! I was going somewhere with this. Well, to your point, I guess.
like
Fuck,
this-
everything's
like the
military.
chaos and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
God damn it! I was trying to think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, inducing of the chaos and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah,
like
he's
that's-
very like when he crashes the party, and he's got the group with him, and he always has a different story for why he got the scars.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
he doesn't drink
PTSD
alcohol.
kicking in.
And he doesn't drink alcohol. He throws it out of the glass.
Right?
first.
He
And,
goes
like-
to drink it, or no, he throws it out and then he drinks it afterwards.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. The,
No, I
the
like
fact
it.
that
I'll-
also the
I'll
fact that he
accept
had
that
hand
as
grenades, like
official.
he just has hand grenades. Like he just has them.
My favorite scene, the whole movie, man. I think everybody knows this, and everybody like has probably the same thoughts. But I'm sorry, man. The disappearing like pencil trick.
Yeah.
When
That
he's
actually
just like,
that's
whap.
yeah, that
But,
adds further proof too, because a lot of like the hand-to-hand combat that special forces use is like using opponent momentum against them, which is exactly what he does in that scene. So it's like it's really that theory I really love because it just when you go back and rewatch the movie, it makes the movie so much more interesting because you're like, huh,
So
When we get
damn,
off here, I'm
like
gonna go back and watch the first like hour
yeah,
of it.
because then like you start thinking about like look like even from the very beginning like the bank heist, right? Like all the shit
It's
that they
planned and
do,
calculated.
it's
Yeah.
so planned to use like yeah like it's crazy. So like it's such a perfect
so
plan.
if I
Yeah,
join the special forces, I learn magic.
you learn
Yes,
how to kill people with a
Absolutely.
pencil
Yeah.
apparently.
but
I
it's
learn
a
how to
card
make
game.
pixels
Yeah.
disappear. So
This is completely off topic, and I hate to do this, but I'm like
Okay.
very curious. Tony, I never noticed those turtles above your left shoulder before. They look taller. They look like the 2000. Yeah, back there. They
Is it
look
the
like the
Imagineers?
2003 turtles. Like, what is that?
So they are from. You know what? Hang on.
Yeah, sorry to make you do that. I just
Slap.
never noticed them before.
Private needs
So
to
this
just
is from
stand
a
up.
third-party company. They're about 2 feet tall.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. So like his nunchucks are actually chain.
They're like the DreamX slightly, but they're not the DreamX.
Yes, they're like the GMX turtles, but they are in a larger scale. So like his bandana is posable.
Nice.
His belt is leather. His like shin guards, all that stuff, they're like a rubber, but they're also leather. This is real cloth down by his ankles.
That's cool.
So they were about $250 a piece. Well worth it, man. I mean, they're just detailed like fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, they look awesome. I've been looking at them the whole podcast. I'm like, I'm gonna ask him what those things are.
Yeah, they're like $250 a piece, man. But these are fucking rad. Totally worth it.
So the one of the theories that I came across that I hadn't ever that I noticed but I never put any thought into it is Jason Voorhees is a Deadite.
He's
A
a Deadite
Jedi?
from no, he's a Deadite from
He's
Oh,
a
I'm like,
Deadite.
what the
Dead.
fuck?
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees is a Deadite.
Not enough alcohol
Interesting.
for that.
So he was
So
I'll be right back. Keep
In-
going.
his
I think
powers
it's- I
are
think
connected to the the Necronomicon.
right, and it's because
Yeah, I have heard
I
that
think-
one. I have heard that one.
Yeah, so it's in I think it's Jason Goes to Hell. You correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but they showed like the backstory of his mom
Mm-hmm.
buying the cabin on the lake so she could watch the camp to make sure it fails and never reopens, type of thing, right?
Oh, so his mom is a lady with the tree?
Jesus Christ, that tree scene, Jesus.
Oh
So-
god, no. Yeah, I just realized
But
what you're talking
when
about.
they're showing the scene in her basement or wherever, you see the Necronomicon.
Really?
Like- Yeah, it's there in the movie. So she's got the Necronomicon. Then
I'm
you see
looking
the
this up.
first
I
movie.
never knew that.
And she's killing all the camp counselors. And there's being said that is actually she was doing a ritual of killing all of them to bring back Jason. Because she read the Necronomicon and she wanted to bring him back, which is why at the end of the movie he pops up out of the water. Because she finished the ritual to bring him back.
Jason's mom has a
Oh
Necronomicon?
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is in the movie. I never
And-
knew that,
and
or I
think
never.
it's Jason
That
Goes
might,
to Hell.
yeah, it's in Jason Goes. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Because there's a background scene, Tony, where
Yeah.
she show her buying a cabin that she lives on the lake to make sure that the camp doesn't reopen, and she has the Necronomicon.
Yeah. So so like she like used it to resurrect Jason.
She used it to resurrect Jason, but she had to kill the camp counselors as like a ritual, like a blood ritual
yeah, like a
or
sacrifice.
soul ritual for the Necronomicon.
I never put that
Jason's a
together.
Deadite, which is why he doesn't get killed. He just comes out of the water. He's a fucking badass. He's just a mute one because we all know from Evil Dead that the Deadites are very vocal and talk a lot of shit.
Man, but Jason Goes to Hell is such a weird movie, man.
I like
is.
that movie,
It's
man.
But then
such
they
a
also
weird
did-
movie.
But they've
like
also
it.
done the comics of Jason versus Freddy versus Ash,
Versus Ash, yeah.
and they were gonna do a movie, but they never did.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Even
Jason,
Bruce Campbell was like, "Yeah, this is gonna happen." Never happened.
Well, because they were gonna kill Ash in the movie, and he
Right.
won't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jason's a Deadite, and I live by it now.
That's
That's
interesting.
fucking wild, man.
I didn't even realize that the Necronomicon was in that movie, and you're right, it is.
And that's the only thing that puts it together. It's
Yeah,
like, why
that
the
makes
fuck
a
was
lot of
that?
sense.
Obviously,
Actually, apparently the director, like, even said that Jason is a Deadite from Evil Dead.
oh, I
And
didn't
he,
even
and
know
he
that. That's
yeah, and he
even
did that.
better.
He did that purposely because apparently, like, he was trying to pitch a new Evil Dead movie to New Line, and they refused. So he's like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna turn Jason into Deadite. So fuck you guys. So that's what happened.
So wouldn't essentially like Michael Myers, he doesn't die. He gets shot and killed and whatever keeps coming back. He's basically a zombie, just like Jason.
Yeah.
Well, see, the only thing
So-
with Myers is that you see him get shot, but you never see him die.
Dude.
No, but I mean, to be fair, horror movie rules: if you don't see them die, they're not dead, right?
Well, like I said earlier, like Halloween has a ton of like different fan theories. One of the fan theories actually is that, like Michael Myers just has supernatural powers, and time and space work differently around him.
That's why he's always behind you.
That's why he's always walking, and then he suddenly he just teleports.
I
'Cause
hate
he-
that shit.
But see,
Yeah,
you,
like,
you
so-
gotta remember, like in the movies, like there's the one where they cut his head off, right? But then it comes out that it wasn't his head; it was like one of.
But
the
he's
paramedics.
alive
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
No, but it was a paramedic. It wasn't actually Michael Myers.
Well, send
He
more of
just
them because
put
they're
him-
delicious.
He put him like in the suit with the mask, and okay, like you never actually see him die until the last movie where he's put into like an inferno and lit on fire.
He's
like literally fed to a wood chipper. And, like,
That's why I
lost-
stand by Leatherface.
Or
He
no,
doesn't
no,
get
in a
incarnated, like
crusher.
nobody's like shooting him in the fucking head. And he's getting up for the next movie. Like he just
Leatherface is a
keeps
woman,
going.
apparently. So,
Well,
How about that?
so that one I read it today. I've never thought of it because obviously there's the one, I think, second movie where he puts like makeup.
He wears the
on.
makeup, yeah. No,
Right?
no, he did that in the first movie, I thought.
I think that was the second one.
no, the
They
first
put it
movie he
together.
puts on a mask
It's in the-
and puts makeup on a mask to look like
Yeah,
his mom.
it's in the first movie.
That's the first one.
Yes.
Okay, so the idea
Second
is
one he has a
that
chrome
he's-
chainsaw.
No.
the idea is that he's actually a woman. What the hell? Jesus Christ!
hell is
you
that?
sound
John, your
crazy.
mic,
John, whatever you're doing is fucking everybody up.
I wasn't doing anything. I don't know.
there we go. All right,
Go
You
outside
did
and come
something.
back.
I had to turn you down a little bit.
it's fine. Now.
So the theory is that he's a woman because like you never really see anything that shows like, oh, he's a man, right? Like there's never any definitive showing of it. But the idea is that because of how he's always cooking, remember this is from the 70s, the first one, right? He's always cooking. He does all the decorating in the house. Like for that time period, though everything he does is what they would do for a stereotypical woman's job.
So
in that-
Gunnar Hansen is the original Leatherface.
yeah,
No. He's played by a man.
yeah, but also his
But
name
the
is
actual
Bubba. His
character-
name is Bubba Sawyer.
He's
So-
raised.
So to that point, remember I said before, like the fan theory that like it's just the offsprings, right?
Yeah.
which now that's
You
a
have-
different thing.
You have Bubba Sawyer. When you get up to one with Jessica Biel, his name's Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
But see, the idea, like I said, is just that they're saying that it's a woman because everything he does is very womanly actions that he does.
Right.
He's
I think
just-
that was just like him trying to
big
like
bitch.
mimic his there is I mean like Tony was saying like in the first movie, right, he like dresses up like the mom. So I think he does that because he's like trying to like be that missing part of the family.
I agree
So-
with that. That's what I always felt it as. But like I said,
Yeah.
when I read it, I was like, you know what? You're not actually wrong.
Because the rest of the family they treat him like a bitch. Like even though he's not, but they do.
But it
So-
also is with what Tony's saying, where like they take a new one and they raise the new person to be Leatherface, right?
Mhm.
So the idea of like how in some countries, if the family doesn't have a female child, they have like two boys. They'll raise one of the boys more feminine to do what a daughter would normally do, and they push that on them. So it very well can be something like that. Like they're like, oh, we don't have a woman in this house, so hey, you're gonna do all the womanly deeds, get to it, and then you got this fucking
No.
psychopath.
Now we're getting into like sleepaway camp territory now. So
Yo, the other day, Tony, I guess, hasn't seen Sleepaway Camp. Was that it, or you don't remember it?
I don't remember it. I have trouble
Really?
with Zoto though.
nice.
Tony did not remember that twist in Sleepaway Camp. That
Really? Wow, that's like one of the biggest twists in like the horror movie history. Even though
Like,
it's like a niche
yeah,
movie or kind of like a
coming.
cult classic, yeah.
I mean, there's another
I have a
horror
tail.
movie theory that I've heard that I think is interesting. It's the fact that the Mist, there's no monsters in the Mist. There's nothing paranormal going on in the film The Mist. What happens is at the military base, there's a weapons grade chemical explosion, and the chemicals that are there are hallucinogenic, which is why you see when the military shows up, they're wearing the gas mask. But it's also nobody sees any monsters or talks about any monsters until the mist has kind of covered the town. And when the military comes in at the end, they don't have guns. They have flamethrowers to kind of burn off the chemical that's there.
so
Okay, so how do you explain the girl who died, who got stung by the thing, the bug or whatever the hell it is, in the grocery store?
All that could be hallucinations, right? And then people, like, you have mass hysteria, and somebody's like, "Did you see that thing that blah blah blah?" And then everyone's like, "Yeah, I saw it." So people are agreeing with it, and they are reacting, right? And people are killing other people because they're seeing them as monsters.
So I haven't seen The Mist probably since I saw it in theaters. The idea was that the monsters were in the mist, right?
Yes.
So that would show why they don't mention monsters until the mist covers the town.
Well,
because
so the
they're
way
in
that it
the
is so it's another one of Stephen King's like portals opened, and he does this in a lot of his books. Like From a Buick 8 is the same thing. You open the trunk of this old Buick, and it's a doorway into another world. And
right,
so
the
this
mist was like the
mist
different
got
dimension.
came through a portal, and as the mist came through, these other like monsters came through. But
Right.
the fan theory that the mist is just it's essentially chemical warfare. There was an explosion at the base, there was an accident, and the mist spread out, and that mist was, causing, it was like a strong psychoactive hallucinogen.
I mean, I'm not against it, but like thinking about other movies, like you said, like, oh, the military came in, they had flamethrowers,
Yeah.
but flamethrowers have been used to fight aliens and monsters throughout film history, right? So it's not like it's
But
it's not like it's an unusual weapon for them to bring in for this type of thing,
Yeah.
because that's what they had. Like,
but they
fucking
weren't looking for any monsters.
Well,
Right?
Because there were no monsters. That's the whole theory.
Yeah, like,
Or
so
no, I
when
get
soldiers
that.
come in, when the soldiers come in, like the theory says, when you see the soldiers come in at the end of the movie, they're not even looking for anything. Like, they don't see anything. There's no, like, because the characters see these giant monsters off in the distance, and the military should see them. They don't. They don't see any of that because they're wearing the hazmat gear, and they're just burning shit through there. Like, they don't ever once stop and look at anything. They're not all looking in one direction like a lot of the other characters. And so the idea is it's the hallucinogen is making people see things, and the people that die are killed by the other people. They're seeing them as monsters.
So the only issue I've ever had with that theory, and it's a good theory because I think it explains also like what is the mist, right? Because that's like the one thing. It's like, why is there a mist? Like, why couldn't these monsters just come about without a mist existing?
Yeah, why didn't it dissipate too?
Right.
Like, once
So-
the portal closed, why is it still coming? Yeah.
The only thing about that theory though is the very end scene that you were talking about, John. They're also driving a tank, so it's like if that was the case, why have a tank? Like, why even have, like, why drive through the city with a tank?
Well, no,
Well,
so it's
what if you can't see because the chemicals there? You can't see a tank's gonna go fucking through anything that might be in the way.
and the fan theory that I read a while ago actually explains the tank. Part of it is what Chris said, right? Part of it is the fact that the mist in some areas is so thick. If you're driving a regular truck or a car, and then you come across something in a truck, what are you going to do? Right? You're stuck. In a tank, you're just going to roll over it. But the other thing is, the military knows that the citizens are going crazy. They know that there's going to be very strong, violent reactions to this stuff because it was developed to do that. And so the tank is for the protection of the soldiers, right? Like, so if the soldiers have to get in the tank, people are not rocking a tank over, right? They're not lighting a tank on fire. So that's kind of the explanation for the tank at the end.
Apparently, unless they're Chucky, according to the internet, fucking super strength. Like, I have to watch it again. Like I said, I haven't seen The Mist probably since it came out in theaters. I'll have to watch it again.
I enjoy it, but that ending is terrible.
Yeah.
And then making this, like, if this fan theory is true, that makes the ending even worse.
Because
Like, it's a
you
hard.
say that,
hard
and
to
I'm
watch.
thinking, like, I remember watching. I remember not liking, like, really not liking something about it. So it must have been the fucking ending.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean, spoiler alert from 2005, I guess. But in the end, the
20-year-old
the character
spoiler.
the character that Thomas Jane is playing is the father, and he's got the son and two old people in the car, and they were trying to escape, and they can't escape. They're like locked in, and they see these monsters closing in on them, and none of them want to die violently the way that the people in the grocery store were dying, and so there's only enough bullets to take out 3 of 4 of them, and they agree. Like, Thomas Jane agrees, so he kills the old people. He kills his son, and then right after he kills his son, the military comes walking by the car.
Right.
It's
And
really
so again,
fucked up.
like, yeah. So, like, it's super dark, but again, it feeds into the fan theory because their car stopped moving, and they see all these monsters around them, and they know that they're going to get torn apart like the people in the grocery store because they were all in the grocery store. And Thomas Jane has a gun with 3 bullets in it, and he doesn't want the others to suffer, and he's
Right.
willing to be the one to suffer. But when the military comes walking by, they're not looking at shit, right? They don't see any monsters. They don't hear any weird noises. There's nothing other than the sound of Thomas Jane seeing the military and just screaming because of what he's just had to do, and he could have been saved. His son could have been saved. So, yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed the movie, but that
I have to
ending
rewatch it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Pretty cute.
So, the one last one that I saw that I was like, I don't know if I get behind it. I can see where they're coming from. But I think it's just, I think if it was true, it would have been brought up in the movies and used against her. But Freddy Krueger is Nancy's biological father.
Oh my god, what the hell, man?
Because that's why he goes after her and he torments her versus what he does to all the other kids.
So in the newer movie, isn't she like the youngest girl he goes after?
The one with Rorschach as Freddy?
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't remember. But in that movie also, they said he was a pedo and he really wasn't. They killed him anyways. That's why he's coming back to kill everybody because he was falsely accused, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
But then it came out at the end that he actually did do it. So he was rightfully accused, but I don't remember. But the idea is that that's why he torments her and why he's focused on her so much and then her mother because he wants to get payback for her mother not telling her the truth about him being the father. And I read that, I was like, I'm into it. Okay, I can accept it, but I feel if that was the case, Freddy would have been doing more things to show that, to screw with her mind that I'm your daddy. You know what I mean? He's that type of dick.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was interesting.
What do you think of the theory that Alien and Blade Runner exist in the same universe?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
Never
Yeah.
heard that one?
Blade Runner.
Really? Yeah, the synths.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's synths in both movies, and they work exactly the same in both films too.
What's in both movies?
Synths,
The
like the
synthetic life forms.
Yeah.
Oh.
or like
Yeah.
androids. Yeah.
Androids,
Because
yeah.
both of them are Ridley Scott movies, and while Ridley Scott never has confirmed this, people have asked him, and he just kind of smiles and doesn't say anything, which kind of just it adds fuel to the fire, right? But it's the idea that Blade Runner and Alien exist in the exact same universe.
Ooh,
Yeah.
snap.
And believe it or not, Alien Earth is actually like granting more credence to that theory because
Hey, Jose, I
yeah.
need you to shut the fuck up. That's what I need you to do.
Well, no. This is not a spoiler. I'm not gonna spoiler. It's not a. Trust me, like, it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. I promise. But
Holy
but
shit, that was
but
great.
but Timothy Oliphant's character is an android in the show, and his
Right.
appearance is almost identical to. Oh my God, what was the android's name from the first movie? What was his name?
Ash? No.
Ash?
Was it
No.
Ash?
Now,
Oh,
was it
Bishop.
Ash? Bishop.
From
No,
Bishop
Bishop.
was
no,
the
no, no,
second
from,
movie,
from,
Ash
no,
was the
from,
first
from,
one.
from Blade Runner. From Blade Runner.
Oh,
Oh,
I,
Yeah. What was the android's name for Blade Runner?
I don't know.
Um,
Jeff?
I don't remember. But they look very very
Android
similar.
Jeff,
They
come
both
here.
have like bleached blonde hair. Like the other things too is the android blood from Blade Runner is also white. Like they're both white color.
Oh,
So that's the other kind of like connecting
the,
tissue.
the whole Android thing in Alien was always been. It's one of those things that's kind of weird, right? Because the first android we were introduced to in the franchise is Ash, and he's this specific type of android. He's on the science side. But then the second android we get is Bishop, who's supposedly designed to look like Wayland from all the other movies, which is
yeah.
all played by Hendrickson. But it's like, then after that, we have like the androids change, but yet Bishop is the only one designed to look like the creator, while all the other ones are like different. I've never understood the reasoning behind the androids in Alien. Like, why does some look like the creator while the others don't? And then it's like, do certain androids who have certain purposes look a certain way? So like all the science ones look like Ash, all these ones look like this person, all these ones look like that. On the assembly line, like, oh, we need more scientists, print them out, and they all come out looking like this character. And then all the Bishop ones are this type of. That's one that I've never understood. It's crazy.
So I don't want to disappoint, but we're getting to like the 10:30 mark, and I got work tomorrow, so I'm gonna go ahead and bail on you guys if that's cool.
I don't. But if you gotta get, you can. If you guys want to continue going, I'm in. But it's up to you. The other two in the chat.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right,
All right.
I'm out. Thank you guys for having me. I'll see you
You need to
later.
plug anything?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everybody join us Tuesday for drinks and toys. How about that?
That works great. See you guys later. Have a good night.
See ya.
No. All right.
I asked Chris about this the other day. It's a theory that I read online. I don't necessarily know that I believe it either, and I think Chris said he didn't. But there's a theory that the alien in Alien is not actually evil, and that he's provoked the entire
stupid.
film into attacking people.
So no, right? I don't think the alien is evil. I think the alien is animalistic.
Yeah, it's a
But
parasite.
he's not evil. He's not fucking Jason Voorhees just out on a killing spree.
Or like Michael Myers, who's just killing people just to kill.
Yeah, I think he's
So,
just an
they're-
animal.
Because they also show that they don't kill. They have restraint because their goal isn't to kill; it's to grow the hive. So they like purposely leave people alive to like essentially
breed.
use as hosts. So it's like they don't mindlessly kill. So but they kill when they feel that the hive is threatened. So
I mean, really, it's just like ants, right?
yeah,
Well, the
Like
theory,
ants aren't evil, but
the
they
theory
do what
says-
ants do.
Yeah, like the theory says that the alien is not trying to grow the hive or anything because there's no queen. And that if they
Well-
had left the alien alone and hadn't searched for it, nobody would have died. Like, so the theory says that the people brought on their own deaths by trying to hunt down the alien, right? And if they had just left it alone, nothing would have happened. Nobody would have been killed. So again, I don't believe it, but like it's interesting when you think about it because right from the very inception of this alien, when it comes popping out, they want to find it and hunt it down.
Well, yeah, because protocol, It's an
Yeah.
alien life form, and you have to get rid of this thing, right?
Yeah.
Except for Ash, who wants to trap it because he actually sent there purposely to get that thing and bring
Yes.
it back.
Correct.
But I mean, here's the thing: if I have it's hard to really go because it's a big animal, right? In retrospect, it's not like I said an ant earlier,
Lay down.
and obviously alien's much bigger than an ant. Like, if I walked in my room, there's an ant on my wall. He's not gonna kill me. He's just an ant. He's gonna do what ants do, and I'm gonna do what I do. We're gonna live beautifully.
Yeah.
But if I walked in my room and there was a fucking lion on my couch, I might get mauled for walking in and there's a lion on my couch. So like when they are looking for him and they walk in and there's like he's just sitting there sleeping, he comes down and kills him. It's like, all right, is it if they weren't looking for him, they wouldn't have been there, they wouldn't have died? Like, okay, sure. But they also didn't provoke him. Like they were just there and walked by. And that was it.
Wasn't the
Yeah.
alien in that movie also like actively hunting people? Like
Not
it was
really.
like going after people.
That's where John was, or not John, but the theory is that because they were pursuing him, kind of like the idea is that they were like cornering him. And
Corner, exactly. They were cornering
He
him.
was attacking because he was being cornered.
Okay.
But it kind of it's hard, right? I guess it depends on whose point of view you look at or from. Because in the last scene, Ripley's just half naked, trying to go to bed, and then he comes out and she sees it, and then she jumps in the suit, and he's just walking around, right? So it's like he wasn't really going after her; he was just kind of existing. So I guess there's really no point where you actually see him actively just go out of his way to like hunt down and kill somebody.
But it was like ambushing people. Like it was attacking them from the shadows. Like they weren't like looking
But-
for it, but so it's like it's acting like a predator, right? If
Right, but-
if a prey walks into
No.
its territory,
Oh,
right?
okay.
It's yeah, like if prey
Well,
walks
we-
into its territory, it's like, oh shit, it's a living thing. I'm gonna go kill it.
Because of the franchises we're talking about, when you said Predator, like, no, he was not acting like the Predator.
No, not the
He
predator,
hunted
like
down
like
Arnold
like
and
a
was
like
taking out his
a
whole fucking team.
yes, like no, he's not shooting plasma casters at things. No, he's no, but I'm
Right,
saying like he's
so-
acting like an animal predator.
Right.
So-
So, well, yes and no, right? He's animal. Because, like, he's just there, and you walk by, and he's sitting there in the shadows trying to sleep. You walk by, he's like, oh, you're in my space. Oh, you're dead. Like,
Well, yeah, but you also brought up a good point because it's part of the theory, right? So like when he was in the end of the movie, when he was like hiding in like the pipes and everything there, where Ripley sees him,
right.
he could have come out, he could have torn open the thing, he could have killed her, like, and even then, like he gets
didn't know
out.
she was there.
I'm sorry,
He didn't know she was there.
or maybe he did.
Well, because he didn't, with how he's done it, right? When he sees the people, he attacks aggressively and kills, whether it be tail, mouth through the head, whatever. He attacks and does his end game, right?
Well,
Whereas
so
at the-
but
Whereas at the end, he just kind of rolls out from the wall, and then he just kind of walks over, and then like he seems to kind of notice her, but it's almost like he's like looking, like he doesn't see her, but he's kind of like smelling, for lack of a better description. Like he's just like checking out the area, like, oh, there's something weird here. I don't know what it is. And then she's like, ah, grappling hook to the chest, out the fucking port,
Yeah.
goodbye.
At the very end, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but again, like she's not looking for him either, right? So like when he kills the captain is inside the like corridors trying to find where he is, trying to look for him. So it's almost like threatening because you're invaded my space,
Right.
I'm cornered. But like Ripley doesn't corner him. She sees him and then she just kind of backs up and does her own thing, right, to prepare because she's worried that he's going to attack. So again,
Right,
like
but-
I don't believe in the theory myself,
Yeah.
but I understand why people are saying it. Like he
I
doesn't
could-
actively go searching It just kind of happens.
See,
Right,
but
like I
okay.
said,
So I think. So who's the first character that dies in the movie, Chris? You remember?
The guy who's
Not the chest
Besides
burster.
the
No,
chest
not
burster?
besides the chest burster. No, like actually, like when he's a full-grown alien, who's the first person that dies? Do you
I
remember?
can't pull the name out of my
It's the
ass
captain.
right now.
No, it was Brett, right? It was the character Brett, right? He's looking for his cat, right?
Yeah, the guy. He's got the yellow shirt with the hat on. And
Yes.
the chains.
Right.
The aliens open the chains because he sees the skin.
Yes.
He's like, "What the hell is this?" And
Yeah.
then the
And
Xeno
so-
comes from the chains and kills
Exactly,
him.
right? So in that scene, right, the alien is hunting him.
I think his name is
Right.
Bert.
So
I feel like it's Bert.
I think it was Brett is his name. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like it's. God damn it!
It's either Bert or Brett, but it's definitely like a B word. No, but like in that scene, like the alien is like actively hunting him. So because we see it from like we see the alien like in the background.
No,
all
but see,
stuff,
that's where. But that's the different thing, though. He's not. You don't see him actively hunting him. He walked in there where the alien was suspended,
right.
chilling,
Yeah.
and then the
but
alien
it
came
wasn't
down
chilling
and
though.
attacked.
Yeah, I mean, no, I guess.
No, it was just up there. It's
Yeah.
up there in the chains, just like yo.
But it, like chains
Y'all
like
leave me the
waiting
f-
for him. It was like waiting for him, maybe. I don't know. Like I guess it's all like a
Like I
matter of
said,
perspective.
Really, with this being said, I'd like to see a movie from the alien's point of view.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see the movie from his point of view.
He's probably just chilling
And
up.
what-
I mean, he's
what
probably up there
really
chilling,
happened.
like drinking coffee. Like we don't know. So and then he's like trying to read a book, and then Brett walks in there like, "Hey, where's my cat?" And he's like, "What the fuck is this guy?" Interrupting.
And they-
There's
and I was
also
like,
a
you know what?
stupid theory that the
I don't know who your cat is, but here's some death.
Yeah.
And they killed.
there's also a stupid theory that the cat is evil and like can communicate with the alien and is like the mastermind.
Oh my god.
I mean, first of all, let's be fair. That's something a cat would do, right? Let's not bullshit cats. They're the spawns of Satan. They would absolutely do that. But I don't think Jonesy did that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh man.
Oh man, but yeah, no. But after thinking about it more and looking back into it, the alien isn't evil. He's an animal. He didn't actively hunt that we see. We don't see any evidence of him actively hunting down the people like we see in Aliens. We see them hunting the
Yeah.
team
In
in
Aliens, yes.
But
Yeah.
in Alien, we never see him actively hunt. We see him be places, then people show up and where he's at, and he reacts.
I don't know. To me, that's like, but that to me, that's like the sign of a hunt. Like I get it. So like in one of the other scenes, right? He like where the guy uses the flamethrower and then he kills him like right after, like that one, right?
Right,
Like
in
that one,
Dallas,
that
in
Dallas,
the-
yes, yeah. So like that one, like that one, sure, yeah, like that one I can understand. Like maybe that one's self-defense. I'm just like looking at the other kills, right? Like specifically Brett. Like that's one that I'm like, is he really like what is Brett doing that's threatening? And it's like
No,
it's
but,
like.
but that's the animal instinct, right?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The animal instinct there is ambush and hunt because he's a predator. So,
Well, no,
'cause
but
he-
see, I guess that's where you're the technicality of hunt, right? When I
Yeah.
think hunt, he's like actively in the ceilings, going around looking for people.
that's what he was. He attacked him from the ceiling.
No, but he was just chilling in the chains. Like I said, you never see the
You
point of
see
view
it
where
there,
you
yeah. At that point, sure.
Right. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. You never see evidence of the alien actively going from room to room looking to kill somebody.
Yeah, but that's-
Everybody that dies happens to walk into a room where he's already at. You never see him actively hunting them. They come into his area and he kills them. Like I said, you go to the zoo and you walk in to a fucking lion's den, you're gonna get killed. They
I
didn't
guess-
hunt you, but you
I-
walked into their area
Yeah.
and they worked your ass.
But I guess I'm just maybe if I could see that being the case if maybe Alien was the only Alien movie that ever came out. But I guess I'm just like applying like the logic from the other movies and what we know about the aliens because it's so like
So-
fleshed out now.
So, but that's
That's
where
probably
the theory,
why.
But the theory explains it this way, right? Like
Because he had
In-
no hive, so he had
in
no reason
Alien
to do any
2,
of that.
yes, exactly. Like in Alien 2, there's a hive. They got to collect bodies. They're doing stuff because they got to increase the hive. But in the first movie, there's no queen. And then the argument, like the fan theory extends because in the third movie, Ripley's got the queen inside of her. So the alien that's there is killing people to protect the queen, right? And also in preparation for the queen to be born so that the hive can be rebuilt. And then Alien 4 is just kind of its own weird thing where Ripley's like this alien human hybrid and all that other stuff. But like
Still better
I
movie than
don't
Alien
agree
3.
with the fan theory, but I understand like why people think it makes sense.
No, I definitely understand it for sure. I just definitely like don't agree with it. But again, like I could definitely see that fan theory having a lot more credence if Alien was the only Alien movie that ever came out. So like for me, I'm applying like what we know about the xenomorph as a species based on the other movies, because we know in the other movies like they're very like like they hunt, like they actually like hunt the people. So
Well, yeah, but like I said, you use the same thing like with ants. You have one ant by itself. It doesn't try and take down prey, right? It goes for small food or prey much smaller than it for whatever reason. It's when the entire hive needs something, then you have the army of ants that come out and they'll carry back a fucking squirrel.
yeah, but ants aren't really like predatory. Like they're not predators. Like I would probably equate it more to like maybe like a wasp or something.
Tell that the small animals that get fucking.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like that, yeah, but they really only attack when they're like in like large groups. So it's like
Right, but
wasps will attack you because they don't give a fuck. Because they're wasps.
No, but you gotta remember,
Because wasps are assholes. So
but if you're from Florida, you deal with fire ants. You got one fire ant, you fucking if you're near it and it's gonna bite your ass, right?
yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but a fire ant's not gonna go out of its way to bite you. Like wasps will go out of their fucking way. They'll chase you into the house and start
I don't
stinging
know,
the shit out of you.
I see some
Because
fire
they're
ants.
assholes.
They come near your foot, you move your foot, they see the turn direction, go right back at your fucking foot.
Yeah.
Those little assholes.
The trauma that Jose must have experienced from wasps. is
Yo,
great.
wasps.
like in
In
Aliens-
Tampa, bro, wasps were fucking awful.
But then, like in Aliens, you mess with the hive, and then they all come out, and
Right.
they take out.
No, I totally get it. And like I said, I totally understand the theory. It's an interesting theory.
It's all animal. It's all animals. There's no.
yeah,
I
it's
don't think
animal
there's-
instinct. And
there's
I
no
agree.
Evil motive behind it, but there's
I agree.
No, oh, I'm a good guy. It's just
No,
it's animal instinct.
I agree 100% with you, Chris. I don't think aliens are the xenomorphs are like inherently evil. The same reason like I don't think the predator is not inherently evil. Like that's just part of their like tribe. Like that's their way of life is to hunt.
The only difference
So-
with the Predator is, and I think the reason people look at him as more like the villain is because he's humanoid.
Well, yeah, they're more intelligent for sure.
Right,
So
but
it's like
no,
they-
it's the fact that he's 2 legs, he's built, he's without the face. You go, oh yeah, it's a human structure, right? So he's a humanoid. Versus like if the Predator was running around on 4s, you'd be like, all right, yeah, he's an animal. He's just gonna do what animals do. No,
Yeah.
he's on 2 legs. He's not an asshole. He's not an animal. He's just killing people for sport.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
kind of a dick.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, like
But
the dino in Jurassic World. I forget the name, but in the
The
first
Indominus
Jurassic
Rex,
World,
Indominus
the Indominus
Rex?
Rex, right?
Yeah.
Like he's just killing to kill. Like that dino is absolutely an asshole. He's not
Well, he's-
killing to eat.
well-
He's just killing to kill.
The Indominus Rex is also a baby in that movie. So like it like doesn't it like there's a theory around that too that they didn't know any better. That's just like it was just like a
Well, because it was
baby.
kept in isolation. Like it's
Right.
like Chris Pratt says it.
Yeah, it's
He's
kids,
like-
he didn't.
He's
he
like,
didn't
you
socialize
raise
at
it
all.
by itself, away from people,
Yeah.
away from everything else. It doesn't know how to interact, and so it's just killing to kill.
Yep.
Whereas the T-Rex kills to eat. Right?
Yeah.
Like all the other animals in there are animals, but the Indominus is like, nah, it's time for you to go. I don't like the way you look. It's time for you to go.
And then the Mosasaurus was
But-
like, "Oh, look, a snack."
So it's funny when you say that. Like obviously the Indominus, because he was killing to kill, right?
Yeah.
But there are animals in nature that have a tendency to kill to kill. Then they'll eventually eat what they kill. Like say a killer whale who will like toss their food through the air and play with it before they eat it just to kill it.
But they're not killing like 8 seals and then going and eating them after they kill them. It's one seal at a time they play with, and then they
First of all, tell that to a seal, okay? He'll have a different story. But it's funny because Jurassic Park, much like Alien, the dinosaurs aren't the bad guys. They're just animals doing animal things. aliens aren't the bad guys. They're just aliens doing animal things. The bad guys in Alien is Weyland
Wayland
Yutani.
Yutani, yeah, Wayland Yutani. That's
And
always been the
in the
case.
first one, Ash, right? Because he was trying to help them. Like those are the villains of the movie. Just like in Jurassic Park, the villains of the movie are the
InGen.
ones that are trying to use them as the weapons. In each
Yeah.
movie, it's a different person, whatever,
Yeah.
different entity. But it's like those companies are the actual villains. Just
Yeah.
like Weyland Yutani is the villain,
Yeah.
not the aliens or the dinosaurs. They're just doing what they do.
I mean, the Indominus Rex kills like 15 brontosaurus along the plane. They just lay there.
Yeah.
All right, to be fair, if you were a giant dinosaur that's never seen anything else in your life, and you come out there and you see some shit, you might start murking some shit.
To me, that was just like the Indominus Rex going like testing out its claws because it's like it's never used them before.
What
So
the fuck
it's
is
like
this?
it's like he's like looking at it like, what do I do with my hands? And
He's like Jack
it's like,
Skellington.
oh, is that what that does? Oh, let me do it again. And he just
He's
does
like
it over
Jack
and over.
Skellington at Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, what's this? What
He's,
death?
no,
Death?
he's
Like, I have
he's
to kill it.
I equate
I-
it more. I equate it more to like Ricky Bobby from from the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. So what do I do with my hands? Oh, I'm just gonna start
If I go
slashing
out
things.
here in the hallway and I lay out a bunch of stuffed animals, and then I let Ripley run through, she's going to attack each one. Not because she's evil. It's just what she does. It's just
Yeah. That's true.
don't be mad that we're not. He was an orphan, man. He was a test tube baby. Like he knew no better.
Hateful.
He knew not to kill Star Lord though, because that would fuck him up. That would fuck him up.
Star Lord.
Do you- Oh god, you guys got anything else? Any other ones you want to discuss?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, damn. I guess we'll wrap it up then. It's already 10:40. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yep.
I feel like
I
Tony got off an hour ago. I feel like it was a fucking while. Cool. So I can't. One thing that says I can't see who's still there. There's somebody watching still. I don't know who it is, but I appreciate whoever it is for watching all the way through. Thank you for coming. Anybody who watches this later, anybody who did watch earlier that watches it later, we appreciate everybody chiming in, watching, enjoying all that. We do. It means a lot to us. I would appreciate if you like shared and told people, or even if you don't like what we're talking about, tell them so they can not like what we're talking about. As long as they're watching, I don't give a shit. Just tell them to come watch. But Psycho, thank you for coming in. I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it. Cuban Guy, thank you also.
Of course, thank you for having me as well.
We're talking about next week.
So next week, I was just going to go over that. Next week, I have a feeling.
Was it wrestling or no?
Yeah, I have a feeling Shellhead Tony won't be here next week because I've never heard him speak of wrestling. I think I've mentioned it. He always like has, the typical anti-wrestling jokes. So I feel like Tony won't be here next week, but I'll ask him. But yeah, we're gonna talk wrestling next week because Cuban Guy and I got into an argument. Well, not an argument, but a disagreement.
That was a disagreement. That wasn't a real argument. Not
Yeah,
like
it was an
it wasn't it wasn't Johnny Cage. You know what I mean?
Fucking, that's such a boring fucking character. Jesus Christ.
No, we'll talk about that another time. But no. I don't even remember what it was. What were we talking about?
Hey,
for
all I
wrestling?
know is
talking
that
about the
I
way
brought
Becky
that shit
Lynch
up at
was,
another episode.
Oh yeah, the Becky Lynch thing. Yeah.
And the chat agreed with me that Johnny Cage is fucking boring. That's
That's okay.
That's
I like-
not wrong. And Google agrees.
I
So,
don't know.
whatever. But yeah, no. The discussion we were having was about Becky Lynch and
Yeah.
the way
I looked into it too. Like it actually is pretty split. Like a lot of people kind of were like agreeing with like
Let's
what I
save
was
this for
saying.
next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
next
we'll
week
save
was
we'll
it.
save we'll save it for next week. We'll save it for next week.
Next
But yeah,
week.
we'll talk about like wrestling in general and stuff like that.
Yeah, it'll be wrestling, but we'll go over the main thing that brought the topic up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next week we're gonna be talking wrestling. Hopefully, I have a feeling some of our fans will also be wrestling fans because I've met some of them in person and they seem like the wrestling type.
I got a
So
few wrestling fans. I'll shoot the invite
yes,
over so you can join
share
the
it,
chat.
let it. I'm gonna try and put up it. But then after next week, I think we're going to go back to the every other week forecast unless we can really think of some good stuff to go over. Because I don't want to overdo it. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying it. I don't want to make it a burden to try and think of stuff. You know what I mean? So unless we can really think of other things, after next week we're going to go back to every other week. And I say that, but it'll probably change within 10 different times between now and then. So, but yeah, wrestling. Hold on. We're going to talk wrestling. Let's clear this now. Are we talking wrestling or are we talking WWE?
I mean, I think most of us only really watch WWE. I mean, I stopped
Cool.
watching AEW like a long time ago.
Cool. So we're
And-
going mainly WWE and where it bleeds over with like
Yeah.
old, maybe if we
Well,
get into old WCW
Oh,
or
right,
ECW,
and ECW,
and,
yeah,
invasion angle and all that.
yeah. We can
All
talk
right,
about
cool.
that stuff. Yeah,
We're talking wrestling.
wrestling.
Again, thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. I don't have a weird catchphrase like Tony does with his show, with his no cape stuff. But until next time, guys, we appreciate it. Thanks. And stopping. I don't